Irrational Radio.
Create something.
Today we are going to be talking about the rule of cool versus rules as written. The difference between the two, what they mean, there are some DMs that prefer one way of DMing over another, and these are two very, I wouldn't say opposite. I would say actually kind of opposite. What would you think? Like, are they opposite? Are they not opposite?
That was kind of what we started with. It was like we got sort of a base
Yeah.
terms thing. It's like
Yeah.
what is the rule of cool? And I think to most people, at least, it's sort of or at least both of us, it seemed like it was basically when you're saying basically to hell with raw because of this certain circumstance, or generally kind of just homebrewing around rules as written to play a slightly different kind of game.
Right. So yeah, that's a good base description of the two. I like rules as written is I think like the where everyone should start for sure. Learning the system is you're gonna only be able to successfully learn it if you follow the rules. If you immediately start homebrewing stuff, you're not gonna succeed.
Yeah.
Have to follow the rules first.
It's like jazz,
Yeah.
You can't like do it, or you can't break the rules properly until you know the rules.
Yeah,
and
that's a
how
good
they're
way of putting
intended to work.
It's an excellent way of putting that. And then rule of cool, you can get into some trouble with. I myself have gotten into trouble with rule of cool in terms of like campaigns kind of breaking down because some key rules or some key balance elements were missing from certain players' characters or from my own ruling as a DM, and it made the campaign more like keeping up with unbalanced characters rather than telling a story or balancing encounters. It was more just fighting broken with broken, which is something that I used to say a lot.
I mean, and like there's a place for that, and like I think that's a lot of fun. I think, and also crunchier systems with thicker, more intense rule sets. And I think you tend to see way more abridging of the rules as written because there's just so much more to keep track of, and
Yeah.
the odds are better that there's something that works weird compared to how you think it should.
Mhm.
So you just kind of say to hell with it, I'm going to do it. But yeah, I think you're right though. There's especially with newer players, if you do it too often, if you're not concerned about the way the rules actually are intended to function or whatever, then you do run into a spot where you may not actually learn the system as a whole,
Right.
and doing more of those kind of changes can then cause more problems, kind of thing.
Right, absolutely. So, like, kind of piggybacking off of that, I suppose, is like, like when people have been in campaigns, or at least like for me especially, you run into places where you can't really figure out how to apply rules as written to this scenario. My favorite one I'm going to take from your history is the 3.5 argument that you had with your friend Lee about where druids can actually summon animals.
So the premise is that basically in 3.5, it was actually this is a fairly common strat. If you've looked around online, a lot of people came across this similar sort of thing. It's like you could do if you summon a bear in the like at the max range of your summoning ability in the air above an enemy, it will then fall like 60 feet in a round, doing the fall damage to both creatures, and then it has a round to attack. So like, yeah, it's like stuff like that like technically that's that is, I think, rules is written, and
Right.
like, but it's still really cheesy.
It's
So
really
like,
cheesy,
yeah,
yeah.
you can like rule a cool stuff away. I don't know. Yeah, you can
Right.
kind of do. It's not always to let people do more things. Also, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And,
Exactly.
and yeah, and I think that's the other. I don't think that I'm like opposed to play. Like I do a ton of like abridging or straight up ignoring rules as written.
Right.
So I don't. Yeah, I've got plenty to say about how both are screwy.
Yeah. Right.